The Untamed Season 2 Together Forever. Part 1. Where's Hanguang Jun? Lan Sizhui was in a hurry. He had finally finished grading the last night hunt papers for Hanguang Jun, but he was running late. Lan Jingyi had been pestering him to let him join the next night hunt. But Hanguang Jun had told him that he was not allowed to let Lan Jingyi join any more night hunts after he tripped and fell again during the last one he participated in. It had disrupted the entire hunt. He would have to hand Hanguang Jun the papers in class. When he got to the classroom, Sizhui found chaos. Hanguang Jun wasn't there, and the students were using the time to spar with each other. Stop immediately, Lan Sizhui said with authority. Where is Hanguang Jun? They all stopped and went to their seats, but no one was answering. Well? Sizhui said sternly. Master Lan, we don't know where Hanguang Jun is, he never showed up this morning. One of them finally said. Sizhui was shocked. In 26 years Hanguang Jun had never missed a class. I want you all to transcribe rules 1020 to 2032 by the time I get back, Sizhui said sternly. Anyone who doesn't will have to make 10 copies of all the Lan clan rules. They all groaned as they reached for their brushes, ink and paper. Sizhui scurried out and started walking towards Hanguang Jun and Senior Wei's home. It would take a while. A year ago Lan Qiren had insisted they have a home built in the backwoods near the cold pond where they wouldn't disrupt peaceful clan life. What could have happened to Hanguang Jun? Sizhui half expected to run into Hanguang Jun on his way to their house, but he saw no one. He knocked on the door but there was no response. Should I enter? He wondered. What if Hanguang Jun was ill or injured? He knocked again, a little louder. Hanguang Jun, he shouted. Someone stirred inside. Sizhui breathed a sigh of relief. Maybe he just slept too long, he had mentioned being tired lately. The door opened, but it wasn't Hanguang Jun. Senior Wei. You're back. Sizhui smiled. Must be why Hanguang Jun was late. Well, someone is happy to see me, Wei Wuxian said. The students are waiting for Hanguang Jun. When will he be in class? Sizhui asked, wondering what Senior Wei meant but didn't want to ask. No idea, Wei Wuxian retorted testily. Your precious Hanguang Jun picked a fight with me when I returned and left. Haven't seen him since. Wei Wuxian was clearly agitated. Where did he go? Sizhui asked warily. No idea, he just disappeared into thin air. Wei Wuxian shrugged. Sizhui was at a loss. He knew more than anyone how much Hanguang Jun loved Senior Wei. What could have made Hanguang Jun do something like that? Wei Wuxian looked at Sizhui's troubled face and laughed. Don't worry, I'm sure he'll come to his senses soon and return. What have you been up to while I was gone? Did I miss anything exciting? Sizhui knew what Wei Wuxian was hinting at. Nothing exciting, just night hunts and grading papers. There were a few offers but none of them were the one. Have you eaten this morning? I was about to prepare something, Wei Wuxian offered. Sizhui shook his head. I need to get back to class and deal with the situation. Welcome home, Senior Wei. Sizhui bowed to him and left. Some homecoming, Sizhui heard Wei Wuxian mutter. Sizhui rushed back to the classroom. The students were still transcribing. He gave them a reading to do when they were done and went to find the clan leader, Lan Sizhui, Hanguang Jun's older brother. Lan Sizhui was with his uncle Lan Qiren. When Lan Sizhui explained the situation, Lan Qiren immediately started to complain about Wei Wuxian, saying this never would have happened if Lan Wangji had not married Wei Wuxian. Wangji was my best student until that wastrel showed up, he said. Lan Sizhui rolled his eyes in despair. Let's deal with the situation. We can ask Wangji what happened when he returns, Lan Sizhui suggested. Sizhui, can you take over for today? No. Lan Qiren interjected, I'll do it. I was Grand Master before Wangji. Uncle, your health, Lan Sizhui reminded him. That's why you stopped teaching. I'll be fine, Lan Qiren insisted. Here are their night hunt papers. Lan Sizhui pulled the graded papers out and offered them to Lan Qiren, who ignored him. Lan Sizhui placed the papers on the table, bowed and left. Lan Qiren never approved of him no matter what he did. It would be better to go spend time with Senior Wei than try to reason with Lan Qiren. Wei Wuxian was delighted to see Lan Sizhui again. I think you got even handsomer while I was away, he said. Lan Sizhui blushed and shook his head. What can I do? He asked. Wei Wuxian shrugged. Not much anyone can do until Lan Zhan comes to his senses and comes home, he said, offering Lan Sizhui some of his wine. Lan Sizhui politely declined. Hanguang Jun had created an exception for Wei Wuxian, but Lan clan members were still not allowed to consume alcohol. In fact, Hanguang Jun had created multiple exceptions for Wei Wuxian, which added to the mystery of his disappearance right when Wei Wuxian returned. Hanguang Jun was often upset with something Wei Wuxian had done, but he had never disappeared like this before. Telling Lan Sizhui his stories from the last few months. He had gone to visit his nephew Jinling, who was now married with 3 children. Wei Wuxian loved children. He spent hours telling Lan Sizhui about Jinling's children, throwing little hints at him. Lan Sizhui refused to take the bait. He knew by now how to deal with Wei Wuxian. He wished Hanguang Jun could learn to deal with Wei Wuxian better, but they had such a long, complex history together it didn't seem likely. Wei Wuxian had a knack for knowing exactly how to annoy Hanguang Jun, and he thoroughly enjoyed doing it. "I'll marry and give you grandchildren when I meet the right woman," he said firmly. Wei Wuxian sighed, "I might not live that long." "I'm sure you will," Lan Sizhui said, laughing. "Hanguang Jun won't let you die again. Don't be so sure, he's pretty mad at me. It might take days for him to return. Who knows if I can stay alive that long without him." Wei Wuxian tried to bait Lan Sizhui. Lan Sizhui wanted to ask, but he knew not to get involved in their tumultuous relationship. He loved them both dearly, and they had each saved his life when he was a child. He wasn't going to get dragged into taking sides. "You survived 3 months on your own, you'll survive a few more days without him," Lan Sizhui said. Hanguang Jun loved each other more than any other 2 people he knew. "Why don't you stay here until Lan Zhan returns?" Wei Wuxian suggested. "Where would I sleep?" Sizhui asked. There was only one bed, and he wasn't about to share it with Wei Wuxian. Even if the thought didn't make him so uncomfortable, he would have to face explaining it to Hanguang Jun when he returned. Sizhui shuddered at the thought. "Good point," Wei Wuxian said. "I guess I'll just have to tough things out on my own." "I'll come visit every day," Lan Sizhui promised. Wei Wuxian nodded and toasted Lan Sizhui. "I'll just do some hunting and fishing until Lan Zhan returns. Maybe clean this place up a bit." Wei Wuxian frowned as he looked around their house. Lan Sizhui bowed and left. The house was out of order, and this was concerning. It wasn't like Hanguang Jun to have things be out of place. He was always so meticulous. What could have happened to him? Hanguang Jun had been out of sorts for a while. Could he be ill? Lan Sizhui dismissed that thought. In the 42 years he had known Hanguang Jun, he had never even had a cold. When he arrived back at the classroom, Lan Shichen was there. Lan Qiren was gone. Lan Shichen handed him a note asking if he could take over classes until Hanguang Jun returned. "Of course," Lan Sizhui replied. He knew Lan Qiren wouldn't be able to last long, but he didn't expect it to be this short. He quickly got the class in order and started reviewing their night hunt papers with them. Lan Shichen watched Lan Sizhui with admiration. He seemed to have a knack for handling the students. The students respected, loved, and revered him. Lan Shichen had no idea how or